Welcome back to another episode of Career Corner with our beautiful lady, Nontobeko. She's gonna tell us ukuthi wenzani. Okay, mana, yazi ngiyazizwa kancane. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just that it seems like you can't.
No, like being feedback, like I was feedbacking.
Okay. I don't know.
Wait, do you have the volume on your earphones?
I know I'm not iPhone, but I'm not iPhone. I'm not like my earphones.
Okay, I'll put this on one.
Ilo. Usangizwa namanje.
Yeah, no. Angisazizwa sengiright.
Oh. All right.
Okay, let's start. 1, 2, 3, go. Welcome back to another episode of Career Corner. We are trying to change and shape the young minds of our ingane that are still in high school, who are still looking to getting careers, getting in the job market. We have a beautiful sister today, Nontobeko, and she's a researcher in nuclear science, is nuclear something, but she's going to explain everything to us without wasting time. Nontobeko, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do in 2020 for a living.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Nontobeko Khumalo. I'm from Kwa-Nongoma. That's where I was born and grew up. So njengamanje I work for the National Nuclear Regulator as a research associate. I've been with them for 2 years now.
Okay, cool. Wow, that's incredible, Nontobeko. So nuclear regulator, you guys build bombs. Basically,
no.
What is it that you do exactly when?
Okay, so we do not build bombs, but we are the entity that makes sure that there's no one who uses nuclear for building bombs. So, National Nuclear Regulator is an entity that reports to the Department of Minerals, Resources and Energy. Our responsibility is to make sure that in the country, every nuclear activity is safe, and to make sure that it's not something that can be harmful to people. So that's what we do. We protect people against any nuclear harm. So you would know, like maybe some of you would know, some of you wouldn't know. We have a nuclear power station in South Africa, which is in Cape Town. It's called Kupek. So as a National Nuclear Regulator, NNR, we have to make sure that it's operated safely to avoid any nuclear accidents.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, Guy, your job sounds very important, and I'm guessing you were one of the people who were fortunate enough for good during a lockdown, but you're still working and you saw it through now. So we're level 1 now, but you were one of the people who acted during lockdown.
Yeah. I have been working, but I've been working from home until level 3, and then from level 3, I would go to the office like twice a week, and then the 3 days I work from home. So yeah, I've been working since lockdown started.
Okay, who says being a researcher and a scientist doesn't pay? I'm trying to actually show the kids that are watching this thing, because there's careers that they don't know about, and the stuff that they do know about, maybe it doesn't pay. Most people I'm talking to this channel, because everybody I'm interviewing is people who even though lockdown is affected like everyone, but they were still able to work and provide for their families, which is very, very good. So let's just take it back a little bit. When you said Kwa-Nongoma, but now how does it happen with a child from Nongoma ends up working for working as a nuclear basically scientist, as a researcher, and staying in Pretoria? Let's just go back to where did you get your matric?
Okay, so njengoba sengishilo before, khulele Kwa-Nongoma, and that's where I did my high school studies. So after matric wami ngiwenze Bhekuzulu High School Kwa-Nongoma, I did physical sciences and mathematics, and then after that they did my B.Sc Physics and Electronics. So when I was
sorry, you froze. You said you did B.Sc. You said you did it where?
University of Zululand, Ongoy.
Okay, that's where you got your B.Sc. Okay.
Yes. So there I did the B.Sc Physics and Electronics. So mangenza my third year, I had a module in nuclear physics, and it was very interesting for me. So that's how I decided to actually continue with nuclear science. So I then pursued my honors and masters, of which I did. There was a program which is a joint program between the University of Zululand, the University of the Western Cape, which is in the Western Cape, and iThemba, which is also in the Western Cape. So for both my masters and M.Sc, I was based in the Western Cape. So that's where I did my B.Sc honors in nuclear physics and my master's in nuclear physics.
Oh wow! Okay, cool. So when growing up, did you always know what you wanted to be a nuclear physicist? Because I'm just like astonished. I'm just thinking, like it's a very interesting career. But like when I was growing up, is that something that you say I want to be a nuclear physicist, or you were just interested in physics and then you found it along the way?
Actually, I didn't even know that there is a thing in physics. Like you can do a degree in physics. So mina mangenza a Matric, actually I wanted to do electrical engineering. That's what I wanted to be. So I wasn't aware that there is a career in physics, like you can become a physicist. Yeah. So the only careers that I was aware of course, was the engineer, becoming an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, a worker, a nurse, a policeman, because those were the things that I could see around my community. But when it comes to a physicist, that's something that I wasn't aware of. I only found out when I went to the university, because when I got the bursary from the University of Zululand, they asked me what I wanted to study. And then I told them that I wanted to do electrical engineering. So they were like, no, we do not have the electrical engineering, but something that is closer to what you want could be B.Sc Physics and Electronics, because it had the electronics part. So when I was growing up, I wasn't aware of that there's this career.
Oh, wow. But you found it along the way, which is good as well. It's just that you were, I would say, you were prepared. Yeah, because there are things that you stumble across the way. There's people who've gone into varsity, like you wanted to study something when you got there, then you found this thing, but your mindset, the subjects you chose from high school really helped to get you to where you needed to be. Because let's say you wanted to be an electrical engineer or whatever in the sciences, but now you studied, let's say, accounting. You were also prepared, and then when you figure varsity, then you're like, oh, what is this thing? Because I get some of the guests I have here who say the same thing, which I went to varsity to register for something. They're like, now we don't have that. You can actually study 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is good because you are prepared for that, which is incredible. Yeah. And then again, after University of Zululand, I know there's a story about how you even went abroad. You studied a bit abroad, like how did that happen? First of all, where did you go, and then how did that happen, and then what caused you to end up coming back to South Africa?
Okay, so when I was doing my master's, my supervisor then hooked me up with this opportunity of going to the University of Kentucky, which is in the USA, to do a PhD. So the plan was that I go there. I was still registered with the University of Zululand, but I was supposed to go there to the US and then spend 2 years there and then come back and finish up my PhD at the University of the Western Cape. It was a great opportunity going there. I got to spend a year there, but unfortunately it didn't work out. That's why I didn't even finish my PhD. So I had to come back. Yes. So I had to come back. So me coming back was mostly because, like, when I was there, I think because of the culture shock, the changes and everything, it was very difficult for me adapting that side and the type of work that I was doing that side. So I ended up having to come back before the 2 years. So I only spent 1 year there. So I came back here, tried to continue with my PhD this side, but unfortunately, even the PhD, I didn't finish it. I had to drop it out and look for a job. So I couldn't finish the PhD, yes.
Okay. This brings me up to the next question that I normally ask our guests, what are the challenges that you feel like a person who wants to be in your field can face? And you just named one, which obviously there's certain things which you like. There's another person I actually interviewed who's also a nuclear. He's doing his PhD in Finland. It's crazy because now it's like this. It's a male and a female, and it's crazy because it's a story, almost like a similar thing, and I love it. So when a person is watching this, and maybe it's a young girl, it's like, I want to be a nuclear scientist. I want to be a nuclear scientist. They can watch that guy's video. They can watch yours as well and compare. Because what were challenges when you went that side? It was a culture shock. But now you're not going there to start anything new. You already had something on your hand. Because no, I actually have my master's. Let me just try and further myself and further my studies. If it doesn't work out, you come back. You're spa, I would say, because you went to the States and then it didn't work out. It's like now you're back on time. I know, I'm not doing anything. You still had it. You were just doing that to elevate yourself. You're already a person who was already, once again, prepared for the opportunity. Whether it works out or not, but you're already prepared for that opportunity, which is very important that young people should actually know. If I want to go study, it's a nice fantasy and a nice dream to say, I want to go to America, I want to go to Finland, I want to go to France. But now if you're not prepared, studying from high school, you're not prepared, you didn't study the right things, you're going to end up just saying, I want to go and do these things. But you need to put the work behind so that when the opportunity arises, to figure it out. So let's just say that's one of the challenges and that you met on your journey. What are other challenges that you feel like come with the field and some of the things that now are experiencing, and how did you manage to overcome some of those things?
Like you mean as a research associate or
whether it's along your journey or as a research associate?
Okay, for instance, to get to where I am, you have to study up to a certain level. So,
okay, we'll wait for you to come back.
You need money, So the minute you go to the university, your parents are already expecting you to finish and go to work and come back to support them. So unfortunately, with just the B.Sc, you cannot, do the job that I am doing. It requires like a postgraduate studies. So you telling your parents that you have to continue now, they do not understand, why are you studying? Because you have studied, you have obtained your degree, and you have graduated. So why can't you just look for a job so that you can come back and help us? So that becomes a challenge, because it's like you kind of have to choose between what you want and supporting your family, And why, like, for my PhD, I had to, when I came back, I had to like drop out because now at home there was no one working. So I had to like quit job and go work. So I had to like quit my PhD and look for a job. So it becomes a bit of a challenge. But then, they say a failure is like it's not really succeeding at that time, but it's giving up. So at this stage, I have an opportunity to re-register for my PhD again and continue, because now I'm working, So what I would say is that even though when you try things out and they do not work out at that time, it doesn't mean that you just have to quit and leave it like that. You still have the opportunity to try again and see if it's gonna work out again. So failure is basically just giving up on what you were trying to do. So whatever that you try to do, never, if it's really something that you really want, you shouldn't give up. You just have to keep on trying and trying again.
That's very like awesome. That's very, very perfect, because I think that's one of the most things that happen with all of us. Would you want to try something, it doesn't work out, Muzama, then you give up. Like I'd just say with me, with trying to get this kind of content out there, it was a problem. Like from 2015 till now, 2013, I've been trying, and then now it just so happened the technology aligns, and I felt like I need to reactivate it again, because I saw what was happening with the COVID-19, which is the very same thing that I was seeing as a teacher, because some of the kids I would teach, we find them roaming the streets. They're not focused, because careers, they are lucrative careers they should be looking at. they're not really exposed like that. If they are, the careers that get exposed and get overexposed are careers that are already oversaturated. Most of those people lost their jobs because of that, because the career icon but now is oversaturated. But there's careers like yours that need people, but they are under abantu kanjalo bancane abasebenza khona kanjalo abasebenza khona. The reason why I was asking the question about were you working during COVID-19, I want kids to know how, wow, this is one of the careers that ungasho ukuthi is recession proof, ukuthi as much as the country is going through a recession or they're going through whatever, but with what I'm doing, then I can be safe to take care of my family, whether I'm working at home. The worst thing that could happen is maybe is to take a pay cut and that's the worst part. So why continue providing for my family and with everything that's happening right now, we can look for kids to, it's also good for kids to look at things that even when you're working at home, you can do the same thing that you can go to at the office, but that's also good as well, because look now, most what I'm predicting is going to happen. I always tell this to people, what's going to happen in the country right now, most businesses, your company has been renting property for you guys to work at. They were paying 100,000 a month for that building. Now they're going to look at, wait a minute, people are working at home, they're able to work at home, why are we continuing to pay for this property that is costing us 100,000 rather than lease something that's smaller? You were saying at work, at times 3 times a week at times, or twice a week and then 3 times seven kai. So business owners and companies and entities, they're looking at it like, wait a minute, now if people can work at home and still be sufficient, then why are we renting out these things? Let's look for and try to implement our systems which people are working at home. So if you're going to study right now, you should also look at, can I even study at home? Is it possible for me to study at home? Because that's not one of the tests that young people are going through right now. I have a sister, she is in UKZN, she's studying at home, submits in the online and all of these things. They're doing that because they're preparing you. But the chances are you're going to be working at home. So also looking at jobs that incorporate the thing of working at home is very, very important right now. That's good and dandy, but now if you can also do it at home, that's also amazing as well. And I'd encourage young people to look at those things and those kinds of careers that could be safe, because it makes things much easier moving forward. We get hit by another plague, another recession, because they happen the last one that happened was 2008. It's happening again in 20. It hasn't even been like 20 years and then we got another one. Who's gonna say within the next 15 years we're not gonna get another one in the next 5 years? So we need to prepare ourselves. And that's why we feel like this content needs to be shared amongst young people. So beforehand, any advice you can say to a person who actually wants to study in nuclear physics, nuclear science, who wants just to exist in your field? What kind of a mindset you feel like they should have? Because I feel like you overcame so many things. I was born in Kwa-Nongoma, that's why I know it's not a place whereby like we don't come from an environment. I'm not saying Kwa-Nongoma are uneducated, I'm not saying that, but it's not a thing that not that they're not educated. It's one of those places, it's magical like that. They say stuff like that. Obviously that rubs off to Ingan, and then only to find the now I'm not gonna go even study something that could actually, now I have to speak English all the time. There's a language barrier. You have to adapt to you mix with different cultures there. Varsity. That's a nice thing about the varsity. You mix with different cultures. But now you had to go to America as well. So you just have been climbing. What advice can you give to a person who wants to take on a journey of, first of all, being educated, but now being educated in your field, which is what you're currently doing right now?
Okay, to get into my field, maybe for our high school students, of course, they have to do physical science and mathematics, and they have to do well there so that they can be accepted at university. And my advice is that you must just choose what you love and what you are passionate about. It should be something you really love, and because it gets difficult. I mean, having to study until master's or PhD, it's not easy. So sometimes, like we are pelelwa, energy, but then for the fact that maybe it's something that you really love and you are passionate about it, that's what pushes you to continue. So they must choose something aligned with themselves and something that they will enjoy doing, so that even if they are faced with difficulties, they are able to to conquer or continue because they are being pushed by passion and love. Also, Nami challenge that I faced from moving high school system to university system, it was a bit of a problem for me in the first year, because at high school, like, I was that person who was doing very well, and then I go to a university and now I started failing. So for me, that was like very new to me, because so it became a sort of a challenge. Of course, the other thing would be the language barrier, as we have indicated, which Kwa-Nongoma vele, we kulumeli Zulu. Sometimes even in class, you find that they will borrow Zulu to explain some of the subjects, maths or physics, and they'll be using Zulu to kind of explain things so that they make sense to you. So when you go to a university, everything is in English. There are people from different cultures, as we have said, and the person you'll find that you have an Indian lecture, you do not understand the accent corner. So it became, for me, it was a challenge, because there was a calculus lecturer who was Indian, and I didn't understand her at all. So that's one of the things that actually resulted in me failing in calculus on my first year. So those are the other things, challenges that you are faced with. And then understanding which university, now you have your freedom. There are no parents who will tell you what to do at what time. Also the lecturer, you just have to decide. It's your decision to go to the lecturer. No one is going to come and wake you up that you must go to lectures. When you're at home, maybe your parents will wake you up to go to school, but when you are there, it's only dependent on you. So you have to know what you want. So just to advise them, which when they get there, they shouldn't succumb to pressure. When they are there, they should know what they are there for, and also choose, okay, this is the kind of a person that I'm going to be when I'm at the university. You'll find people from different backgrounds. Some are richer than you. They afford to buy stuff that you do not afford, but you have to tell yourself that, okay, I come from this background and this is what I afford. If you do not afford this at this time, that's what should motivate you to study even further, so that you can be able to afford stuff that you do not afford.
Wow, beautiful. Nicely ended.
Yeah.
We need to end this on a beautiful note. Thank you so much. Thank you for doing this thing with us again. For those who are watching, this is the second time we're doing this. We did it the first time. Then there were like technical difficulties. She came back again. She blessed us again. So thank you so much, and hope all the best, Njay, everything that you want to achieve in your life. Hopefully, when we talk next time, PhDs of Sikonagada, and celebrate. I'm looking forward to those days. I'm really looking forward to those days, and all the best, Njay, in your career. Because you're a woman working in an environment where I see and feel mostly back in the day it was predominantly by men. The environment of Seven Zagion, and you're there, you're a woman, you're striving on it, you've accomplished a lot, and I feel like you're still gonna do a lot, Sonji. Like next summer school, so the doctor. Yeah, I pray that happens for you. Thank you so much for the time and everything. In saying writing or one, not unless there's anything else you wanna add.
I know. I want to thank you for the opportunity that you have given me to be able to share my experience with others. And I hope that I'm able to inspire other people who will get to watch the video. And Jay, when we talked last time, I told you that I watched a show Yaga Somi's Cooking with Somi's, and he had Sia Kolisi as a guest. So he asked him, Hori, so when you were growing up, did you ever imagined or dreamed of yourself becoming the captain of the national team in rugby? And his response was, at that time, it's not something that he ever thought of, because in his mind, he knew that it was a sport for white people. So I just want to tell the black kids there that they should be able to dream of whatever that they want to become. Nowadays, it's not a matter of ukuthi umhlophe or umnyama. So whatever that you want to become, it's possible you can become that regardless of the fact that you are black. So when you want to be something, you can be that something. You just have to, find out how to do it. And I hope that these videos that you do with other people also that you invite, able to give awareness to other Black people to say there are careers like this that they were not aware of, because indicated before that, you can be a social worker, a police. So fortunately, now that you have these things, then the other people will learn that there are other things besides becoming a teacher or a social worker or a policeman.
Okay, Lionel, thank you
very much.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Before we go, let's just say our beautiful slogan that goes Ratata, Career Corner, Ratata.
Ratata, Career Corner, Ratata.
Number 1, dream big, think sharp. Cut. We're out.